Did you know that although the brain only weighs about 2% of the body's total weight, it consumes on average 20% of your calories for the day? Hello, my name is Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh. And for over 13 years, I've been helping people take control of their health, optimizing performance, and build sustainable habits that actually stick. As a certified strength and conditioning specialist and certified sports nutrition coach, I've been working with everyone from athletes to busy professionals, coaching them through the science and the real world challenges that we all face day to day, specifically of fitness and nutrition. So here I share stories, lessons, and proven systems that make long-term wellness possible. So today's topic is going to be a continuation of what we talked about last week. Very specifically, I just want to highlight, this will be for those who are on our YouTube today, the hierarchy and priority of nutrition. This plays into my certified sports nutrition coach, a resource that we have. And on one side, you'll see a popular approach, a top-down strategy where there's an emphasis first on supplementation and then timing, if you know about fasting, timing, and then type of food, the macros, and then the total overall. And we take the evidence-based approach here at Project Fresh. So very specifically, we want to go from total, how much you're eating throughout the day, which, as I just mentioned, 20% of what we eat goes to the brain. And that will be our topic for today, is how to properly fuel the brain. And then what types of foods, as far as macros, the timing of that if necessary, and then the proper supplementation. So have you ever experienced brain fog? Have you ever felt really low in your energy, maybe clarity, maybe remembering things throughout the day? Have you had any challenges along the lines of studying well or keeping enough recall in your mind for those things that require a little bit more endurance? A long work day, it's very mentally intensive. You find those kind of days to be very difficult. Maybe relying on caffeine or other things to assist you. Well, what I wanted to highlight today is that there are several foods that we found clinically studied as well as anecdotally that provide a benefit for your mental health. Now, last week, as I mentioned, we started on the topic of mental health and the importance of it, how it plays into relationships, how it plays into our physical health, how it even plays into our financial health. And so today I wanted to give you guys some different things that would be substantial for actually benefiting your mental health from a nutritional standpoint. And so very specifically, one of the first go-tos is fruits and vegetables. Those are always a great source for our nutrients, aka vitamins and minerals. So there's a lot of different vitamins and minerals that are available in a wide and broad range of those fruits and vegetables. Can be very beneficial for you overall, but very specifically for your mental health. Particularly a couple that pop up are leafy greens and berries. Berries often have antioxidants that are very good for lots of different things. And we found even in as far as mental health outcomes, it can assist with optimism, it can reduce psychological distress, and also assist with lowering risk of depression. So just a few different things that we put together and studied here to provide for you guys. Another great source other than fruits and veggies is fish and omega-3 fatty acids. So there's a lot of different fatty fish options, but ultimately it can contribute to good mental health and overall well-being. If you know anything about omega-3s and their value, there are many different omega-3 items available, or should I say benefits to having regular omega-3s in your nutrition. you'll know how much more it'll be available or beneficial to your mental health. And let's see, I want to see if I can give you guys one very specifically. Brain cell function and reducing inflammation would be a couple of different items that would be very beneficial for your omega 3s, increasing those and making sure those are available. And so on to the next one. We've also noticed that, or found rather, from, I think, not only from a perspective of what we've researched as far as clinically, but also what we found overall is nuts and seeds, particularly walnuts are one. And I can't remember if it was Jim Quick or if it was another individual that said, look at the shape of a walnut. What does that look like? Well, it actually happens to look like your brain. Go figure that it actually has been found to help boost your mood and also have some antidepressant effects, walnuts specifically, as well as other nuts and seeds being valuable resources for the body, immensely, specifically for the mind. And then olive oil is another one. Now, we don't really focus on diets. If you've interacted with us at all, you may know this. If this is your first time with us here on one of our broadcasts, you'll know that we don't talk about diets. Because if you look at the first three letters of diet, what does that spell? It spells die, right? So we don't want you to be on something that isn't going to be prolonged and beneficial for the long term. We want you to have something that is going to be sustainable and match your lifestyle, something you can stick with for the rest of your life. So that's very important for us in the coaching and consulting that we do. And so in the context, although you'll see olive oil come up often in a Mediterranean diet, it is known for its anti-inflammatory properties as well, and it will help with functional mental health and just overall mental health in general. One thing that you might see a trend here, going back to the berries, going into the omega 3s, now into the olive oils, which is another form of fat, is this anti-inflammation. Inflammation can cause a lot of problems. And with the brain being 20% of those calories and the high functionality of the brain that we've come to find, anti-inflammatory or helping to maintain a nice and what shall I say, neutral environment, not something that is inflamed or acidic or other, is very valuable. I would say that you'll notice this trend of anti-inflammatory being very key for a lot of these foods we're talking about. And that brought me to one particular thought as far as the brain. Trying to remember who it was that was talking about this. But they were saying not only do we use 20% of our calories for the brain, but also the brain itself, in comparison to the other organs, is much more susceptible to disease, to inflammation, to other things that we can experience that will challenge our health compared to the heart or the lungs or the liver or the kidneys. Those organs are much more hardier or resistant than the mind is in comparison. And no wonder we talk about mental health so much. But what I would say in general is you guys are understanding that, or hopefully seeing that fruits and vegetables, fish and omega 3s, nuts and seeds, olive oils, you're starting to probably see a trend that a lot of these are non-meat based items, which is fine, but they all really well contribute to the mental health. And what we're going to do to finish out today is we've put together a resource for you, a guide that will actually go into this a little bit more in depth with some resources. We generally will pull from the NCBI to provide actual clinical studies that show you how these things have been proven or shown to improve or increase in areas, in this case, mental health. So if that's a resource that you would like, how you can boost your mental health through the foods that you eat, please go ahead and comment in today's post, Mind Food, MINDFOOD, Mind Food, one word, in the comments. and we'll go ahead and reach out to you and get that resource to you. So today was all about some different foods that would be very valuable for you in the context of your mental health. We'll be back here same time, same place for Project Fresh, our Monday Lunch Live at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're looking forward to continuing this forward. We may continue in the mind health unless we find something a little bit more specific to this coming week. But for now, hope you guys have yourselves a great rest of your week. Hope you have a nice weekend, and we'll see you for our next Monday Lunch Live. Take care.